Mountainous Tibet, one of the most beautiful places in the world. This is Timothy Hutton. The people of Tibet are in trouble. Their very culture is in jeopardy. But they still whip up an amazing fish curry. And since 200 of us bought at Groupon.com, we're each getting $30 worth of Tibetan food for just $15 at Himalayan Restaurant in Chicago.
Save the money. Unlock great deals in your town. Groupon.com.
All right, well, that is one of the Super Bowl ads that made a splash last night. Miles Nadal's agency produced that Groupon ad, other commercials for BMW and Best Buy. Nadal is the founder and CEO of MDC Partners. Leon Kuberman and Goldman Sachs Capital Management both own stakes in MDC. Miles is with us now in the newsroom. All right, you got in a little bit of trouble for that, I have to admit. The blogosphere is going crazy, saying that was tasteless with the Tibet and then Timothy Hutton and, hey, I got a good curry.
We loved it. First of all, popularity and effectiveness of advertising are not necessarily one and the same. In fact, they're usually very different. So in terms of response being relevant in pop culture terms, we thought it was terrific. They loved it. Our agency loved it. And ultimately, there's wonderful value because there's a lot of funds that are being raised for very, very worthy causes. And Groupon's always had this independent culture, and it's worked well for them. What's the fine
line? Because you're right. I mean, people are definitely talking about it, but what if they talk about it and say it's tasteless, or is any publicity good publicity?
No, I think you're only getting, you're getting a few brand detractors, but our big brand evangelists, who obviously outnumber our detractors significantly, loved it. And it's gotten huge play, and ultimately what's most important is it's driving sales. And so it's important to understand that effectiveness is ultimately what it's all about. It's about driving return on investment.
All right, driving return on investment. If we look at the pace that Fox sold time this year, $3 million for 30 seconds. Analysts say Fox could have sold a lot more. So are the good times back now?
Well, two things. First of all, so there were 30 advertisers, 60 spots. They raised over $200 million. There's probably another $200 to $300 million of production values that went into the commercials. 9 automotive companies. So yes, there was a lot more demand than there was supply. I think it's indicative that there's a bifurcation happening now. There are very few vehicles that will give you mass audience exposure. Super Bowl, Oscars, very few.
Yeah.
And so the great places, like I thought Super Bowl was as prolific and impactful both before, during, and after. Think about how much run-up about advertising spending on Super Bowl, who was going to advertise, what was going to be most popular.
Game.
So it's not just about the $3 million of exposure they paid for the exposure during the game. It's sort of, it was really the multimedia bowl, right? It was with social media and Facebook.
Everything's
it was Twitter
viral, everything's social.
Absolutely. And it's about integrated campaigns.
We know you did the ads for BMW as well. We were just showing some of the clips. I felt like BMW used their time, used their money to say, okay, we're a German car company, but if you buy a BMW, you're going to help Americans get jobs. Is this part of their strategy?
Well, I think all the automotive companies really came out in big force. One of our agencies, Kirschbaum Bond, Senecal and Partners, did the work. We loved, so the Spartanburg one, all about Made in America, spending almost $1 billion in South Carolina to build the facility to make a world-class car in America, I thought was a very powerful message. The other one about eco-friendly is also both beautiful and effective, another really powerful message. So I think the automotive companies, and BMW in particular, is trying to say, look, we believe in America, we believe in building world-class cars, we believe in environmental and eco-friendly, but we also believe in building things that are very effective.
So, Miles, we've talked about 2 ads that you did do, or 2 campaigns that you did do. I want to turn our attention to one that you did, and this is the Motorola ad, Live a Free Life. And for those people who sort of follow the ad space, it reminds everybody of Apple's famous ad, right, back in the 80s. You said you liked this one. You wish you did it, right?
I loved it, yes. It was done by an agency called Anomaly. I thought it was very, very powerful, really resonated as a, made Motorola look technologically very, very forward. resonated in pop culture terms, in terms of the music and the vision, and I thought it was a very iconic ad.
It was also good because they sort of had the big line that you need to know, more speed, which is for somebody like me, and then a lot of sort of technical details underneath. So to your point, seems to be addressing, well, the tech and the less tech-oriented among us.
Absolutely, and I think part of where they're going with tablets and technology is to make it more user-friendly. And so the more it appeals to us, more it's easy for us, and we're very facile at being able to access it, get information quickly, I think is very beneficial.
Miles, thanks so much for coming in. Very
Pleasure.
much. Miles Nadal joining us there. He is chairman and CEO of MDC Partners.